It appears I will have to take action first. Rightful for an emperor, I suppose. An older man of light hair said, as the golden light above his head glowed outward. Charles, one of the many among his terrors, spoke, standing up. Beautiful man of excellent posture. He seemed ready to take the first man's place. Astolfo, you do not have to be so concerned.
Please, we're your paladins. Let one of us.
I came to this tournament to fight. You will have your chance, as will the rest of you. This match is mine, Charlemagne said, hopping over the wall into the ring.
Brother, keep a level head. Don't worry, this is not going to take long, brother.
Sir Kay, brother by circumstance to Arthur, smirked, rolling his shoulder.
Capable as you are, you know your limits. Forfeit if he proves too much for you. Not everyone here is Sir Gawain. I can handle this one in a fight.
Those were his last words before springing into the ring. Charles, or rather Charlemagne, was adorned in a white jacket, atop a blue linen shirt, while linen trousers led to metallic boots, as if part of his armor. Gauntlets, like those of a full suit of plate armor, rested on his hand as he approached his foe. Say now, you're from the English corner, so we can skip through the warm-ups. I've already seen great things from the knights that were present there. That Arthur especially seemed interesting to me.
Thus far, the only knight has been Gawain. The previous match you bore witness to was my brother's match. The king. Don't talk so lowly of him.
My apologies. Though stern as you sound here, I presume my terms are agreeable.
Certainly! Kay came shooting forward first, drawing his blade from its sheath, a singing scrape following as it carved through the air towards Charles. The blade found itself stopped on something immaculate, a sword that danced with the light of a rainbow, and a halo of light glowing around its crossguard. In actuality, Kay's sword wasn't even clashing, merely floating just above its edge. Kay pulled back a step and entered a defensive stance, realizing the blade was special. An enchanted sword. It appears today truly is a special occasion.
Joyous was a gift bestowed upon me, and I hold it very dearly. I'm sure you know of our Savior. This sword contains a piece of the spear that pierced his side.
The spear that pierced the Savior's side? In a sword, nonetheless? Unbelievable!
Believe as you must, but I assure you, all I have said is true. As Holy Roman Emperor, I solemnly swear it!
Kay ground backwards, his eyes snapping up instantly. Ha! Is that all such a sword is capable of? I thought you were going to attack all out from the beginning.
Allow me to show you then!
Ha! Ha! Blade meeting blade, Kay was pushed back again and again. A few underwhelming strikes. Ha! That's not even comparable to my fellow knights of the Round Table, most of whom are superior to me. Kay let loose the shout and came forward with rebuttal, sword drawn and brought down furiously. Charlemagne deflected it. Now, let me unseat you here!
Do try!
Charles shook his head, his sword showing no signs of meeting Kay's, their blades floating near one another but never touching.
Are you trying to get under my skin, or are you just annoying? You, for all of that bluster, have not even managed to attack me yet. To this point, I've been stopping you long before you got close. Do not make such boastful claims without having the means to back them up.
You are the one trailing around as some sort of emperor. I just find it humorous that as a ruler, you're not even making me have to work. It's very rare to meet someone so spectacular in claims, but not in action.
Annoying it is that. Some knight you are. Such paltry skill would not make you among my forces.
You're one to talk? Strikes occurred rapidly along the battered floor, Kay getting the better of Charlemagne, yet failing to bypass his sword on any of the attacks, each one glancing off to the wayside.
You have carried out this charade long enough.
You have yet to land a blow against me. Of course I will continue this fight. Incredible as your sword may be, it has yet to meet my flesh or taste my blood. For one who wants to throw themselves into the fray fully, you have yet to prove successful. Charlemagne parried ever so slightly. Once more he knocked Kay's weapon to the side. Kay followed up the deflection with a piercing from his sword. It poked through the white jacket upon Charlemagne's shoulders, a tear opening along the right side as the Emperor stepped away narrowly. The Knight of the Round Table drew his weapon back and brought it towards Charles's side. It sung through the jacket as the Frank King pulled away, his coat now laying in tatters on the ground.
Where now is that bravado, that holier-than-thou that came from bearing such a lofty title as your own?
Here it is! Now, be gone! Charlemagne's attack sent Kay shooting backwards, his heels digging into the ground. His eyes shook as he looked up to his foe, who seemed to stand stalwart against him. The halo that sat around the crossguard seemed to expand outward, encompassing a 3-foot radius about the blade. It shone like the sun and crackled with power. Charlemagne stood with it, in a ready stance, preparing to take forward.
Let me finish this for us both, because clearly you're just going to throw yourself at me until we both tire.
What? Kay was sent tipping back, the ever-changing rainbow of Joyous whipping through his field of view.
Do not think so illy of me. This is merely the result of your own ego!
That blur of rainbow-hued light parted down from the sky and through Kay's armor. His eyes bulged in shock as crimson spilled through the gaps in his armor, and his legs buckled, forcing him to a kneel. His sword clattered to the floor off to the side as Joyous passed through his body.
A mere flesh wound such as this one is the finishing blow. Don't make me laugh. You are not even worthy of knighthood, let alone an imperial title.
In a desperate last attempt, Kay slammed his fist into Charlemagne's face. The great king stuck back, his sword sliding from the huge gash in Kay's torso.
How could you still fight? You yourself admitted to being lacking.
The Holy Roman Emperor, his eyes fair as the skies above, quickly repositioned and looked up to find his foe falling to the floor, a dusty clatter and blood spraying out around his body.
Arthur, I apologize. This one proved too difficult for me. Sorry, dear brother.
After those words, Charlemagne looked and saw the king of the Britons running to the knight's side, kneeling.
Come now, brother. Let me get you to our terrace. He truly is not among the mightiest of your knights, is he? No, but he is my brother, though you also seem to be hiding the fact of your own strength. Among your own knights, you two can't hold a candle to their exploits. Would I be correct in that assumption?
Indeed I am. They have hardened themselves on the front lines of the battlefield, while I have had to be the bearer of the faith and of the land.
I see. Then I hope that our knights face one another again.
I hope the same, and if by some fortune we meet in a later bracket, I would like to test your worth as a warrior. I witnessed it, but I assume there is much more.
Perhaps, but that would involve beating the Monkey King at the very least.
Then, best to you, Arthur Pendragon.
And to you, Charles.
Arthur quickly moved from the conversation to give his brother solace and a chance at restoration, while Charlemagne returned to his terrace.
What was that conversation about?
A potential meeting, if the tournament would allow. Nothing to worry yourselves about. There is no ill will for what had occurred in the ring. Worry about your own matches.
Of course.
The victor then looked to see one of his own warriors ignited by the golden selection. Speaking of which, Ogier, best of luck, my friend. This warrior, a large man with a squared-off sword, nodded and made his way towards the ring. The next match was set to begin.